The Australian abandonment of Israel, of Jewish Australians and of our strong democratic values on the international stage is almost complete now. The capitulation by the Albanese Labor government on the Middle East at the United Nations represents the abysmal appeasement of terrorism. Under Foreign Minister Penny Wong, Australia has rewarded the murderous terrorists of Hamas and Hezbollah with a public relations victory in the General Assembly, breaking from Israel and the US and voting in favour of a fanciful Palestinian state. They argue Australia's position is returning to where it was 24 years ago, when President Clinton tried to clinch a two-state solution at Camp David in those talks of 2000.
In the years leading up to that point, it was a time when the international community and the parties themselves came together to chart a path towards a two-state solution. A Palestinian state and the State of Israel, side by side, within safe, secure and internationally recognised borders.
This is just so naive. The Palestinians rejected a two-state solution back in 2000, just as they have done every time it's been on offer since the 1940s. There has never been a Palestinian state, and the idea that Hamas or Hezbollah or Fatah can suddenly provide the leadership and stability to lead a safe and secure state is simply not realistic. The very first hurdle is yet to be overcome. Will they accept Israel's right to exist? Australia is now joining the UN delusion that the Islamist leaders of the Palestinian people want a two-state solution. It's clear the extremists who lead the Palestinians only want a one-state solution from the river to the sea, eliminating Israel. Have you heard that phrase before? If they wanted a two-state solution, they would have made Gaza work. Israel pulled out nearly 2 decades ago, and it's been flooded with international aid, but instead Hamas and the Palestinians turned Gaza into a tunnel-ridden weapons depot from which to attack Israel and slaughter innocent people. None of this is designed to win a two-state solution. All of this is designed and enabled by the Islamic Republic of Iran to perpetuate hatred and violence. It's sickening to consider that the only thing that's changed, the only action that has prompted the shift in Australia's position, is the bloodshed on the ground. Australia under Labor has caved in to terrorism, giving the terrorists what they think the terrorists want. Well, they've given Hamas and Hezbollah a morale boost, that's for sure, but none of it will deliver any material benefit. In fact, it will only help to extend hostilities. Why would terrorists abandon their murderous ways when the United Nations attempts to reward them for it? Australia has diminished its standing. It's abandoned an ally. It's broken with our most powerful ally in the United States. It's deserted again Jewish Australians, and it's given a boost to every Islamist extremist in the world. This is reckless and dangerous stuff. And the opposition leader, Peter Dutton, is right to say it's also driven by base partisan politics at home.
He sold the Jewish community out in this country for Green votes in Western Sydney and in places like Marrickville. That's what the Prime Minister's done, and I think we should be standing with allies like the United States. Instead, the Albanese government is chasing Green votes, and they've been prepared to sacrifice the well-being of the Jewish community here in Australia to do so.
Yeah, just terrible. This government is unworthy of our nation, and every day they are in power, we are weaker and more vulnerable at home and less respected by significant countries overseas.